All right, we are live. Guys, today was a good day to backtest. At least I think it was. But here, I'm going to make this bigger. Here we go. Guys, today was a good day to backtest. We have, I don't know, it's 3 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. Eastern. So the market is, I'm pretty sure it's closed now. So this is a great time to look at the market, figure out what happened today. We'll go through the charts, backtest, find all the setups, and then I will put everything into market recap as always. So I'm excited. This should be pretty chill, but yeah, I'm exhausted, but I gotta stay consistent, right? I'm trying to be super consistent now. Even with these backtesting streams, with these trading live streams, I want to be as consistent as I can possibly be. So let's go ahead and look for all kinds of possible trades. I'm excited. So, and then I will make this into a market recap. So let's go ahead and bring this down here. So, yeah. I'm so confused. Is it? I don't know how I put it normally. That does not look better. See, that seems wrong. But so does this. I think it's because I need to move this. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. All right. Let's go ahead and start backtesting. So, yeah, we're just gonna, since this is a backtesting stream, I'm just gonna start looking at stuff. I don't really have a plan for what we're gonna look at, but we're just going to start observing trades that we could have taken today, and then, the more structured version will come in the market recap. So let's just take a look around, and we'll also talk about higher time frame stuff, just everything that we noticed. That's the fun part about backtesting. And then eventually I'll look on Twitter and see what other people took. But I kind of like to go through the charts myself first and find the trades that I would have taken. I kind of want to just go through everything. So looks like we hit previous week's high, and this was the objective that I was saying might be the objective. I was looking at this for a while, and so I wonder if there was a trade up to previous week's high. Let's go ahead and look for it. So yeah, you can see here previous week's high is all the way up here. And then on the lower time frame, yeah, so this was a trade that Dodgy actually took. At least apparently he took it, and it's not bad, because you do have quite a bit of a consolidation right here. So there's consolidation here, here. So there's consolidation. And then I believe he took this, let's see, maybe it was the 3-minute. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what time frame this would be best to take on. Because the 2-minute has this giant wick. Let's go ahead and look at it actually. Because you know what, I am just learning too. So anyway, here, let's go look at the trade from Dodgy on Discord. I like this. I think maybe we also had, whoa, this just gets better. We sweep out London. So this is just one of those trades where it's like it just it makes sense. Like, it makes common sense because we have London lows. So what are you doing? You're transferring liquidity from London lows to previous week's high with this inversion. So, like, conceptually, this is one of those trades that's just like, yeah, I understand it conceptually. We have London lows, and you can see here's, like, London lows. Here, we'll just mark this out as London. Okay, let's get rid of everything. Boom. So we have London. Actually, we'll just have it marked out like this. London lows. And obviously this is also like a pretty nice consolidation, right? Or accumulation. So we sweep them out. Sweep out London. And then let's go ahead and look to see if what trade Dodgy took. This was here we go. So he took this on the 2-minute. He did take this on the 2-minute, even with that wick. So I agree with this trade. I think it was pretty good. I don't know if I would have taken it, but I do like it. It wasn't bad. So we have this inversion. And then, oh, let's check for S&Ts. It's always a good thing to check for. So there's that sweep. I don't know if there is an SMT. It's not. It could be with this low, but it's not like super obvious. Like, I guess there's SMT with this low. It's just, I don't know. I prefer more obvious SMTs. So let's go back. So here we have the 2-minute, and even though this has a wick, we still have good liquidity above, so it makes sense. Now I'm curious if this was news, because what happened here? I was so confused. I'm like, how is there a car outside? And then it's like, oh, it's the lawnmower. Okay, accumulation. There we go. So we run down, sweep London, inverse this, and then we got this. So we sweep out London. And so when this inverses, probably just go like this. This could be a really high R trade if you wanted it to be. This depends. But yeah, up to previous week's high, that's 2.87 R. I'd go break even at this high. So there we go. So consolidation, break even spot, consolidation. That's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie, I like this trade a lot. And then we also not only sweep London, but we get an internal sweep here of, I don't know, whatever this is. Previous hour's low. we sweep previous hour's low, we sweep London lows, and then ride up the previous week's high. Dude, this is pretty cool. I like this. All right, trade one of backtest of the backtesting session is this. And now I am curious if this was news. $8.30 we had unemployment claims. Okay. So it was all the way down here. Okay, 8:30 unemployment claims. So let's go ahead and screenshot this, and let's call this 8:36. Save this. We gotta make a new day. So new folder, June 4th, 25, Thursday. And we're going to go through and we're going to call this 8:36 IFG 2 minute. And yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's move on. So next we did have a data low, and that was down here, and that seemed to be the next draw on liquidity. I'm curious if there was a trade down to it. And I also want to look for flow state trades as well. Okay, there's data wick. Let's go ahead and let's see if there was like a fair value gap here. Okay, nothing super obvious. Let's go back. Let's just simply look for inversions here. Let's not overcomplicate. Is there any inversions? We have really obvious accumulation. Accumulation. I don't know if there's anything obvious in here. I don't know if I see anything that is like light bulb. Like, yeah, we inverse this, but just kind of, I don't know. I probably wouldn't take that. Same with this. Like, I don't know. Just, it's not light bulb for me. So this was the draw on liquidity. I don't know what trade you would have taken to go to it, but maybe, okay, maybe this 30-second inversion. I wouldn't take this, like, at all. Like, at all. Like, I wouldn't take this at all. Especially because this one looks like accumulation. Like, this looks AMD, right? So yeah, there's nothing super obvious. I get that we inverse this, but I would never really actually take that. And so yeah, same with this inversion here. So this inversion fails. And in my opinion, it's just because we have this larger, higher time frame consolidation that overrides this lower time frame one. So that was the draw on liquidity, as well as the data wick. And then anyway, we have this accumulation range here. And I was watching the charts during this whole time here. So accumulation. And this is good AMD. Shoot, I gotta plug my laptop in. This is good AMD. Um, but so accumulation, and I almost took this. I really did, because we had SMT at this low, but I'm just being super defensive right now because I hate losing. Wait. Yeah, this is a higher low, and this is a lower low. So SMT. Like, I don't think this other inversion right here is bad per se. Like, it has good signature, but I think it was just the wrong drawn liquidity because this is a way bigger range, and I think that was drawn liquidity in the short term. That's just my thoughts though. I'm not the expert. Anyway, accumulation, S&T at the low. Oh, we were also below the 8:30 and midnight open. Cool little bonus thing. Oh, you guys, Event Horizon tap. I don't know. I like looking at stuff like that. Okay, SMT. So here's the accumulation. And then what I was considering taking this on was the 3-minute, because 3-minute inversed really nicely. Only thing is we had wicked out the high, but that doesn't really matter a ton. I was just being defensive because I really don't want to take a loss, and if I wasn't sure, I wasn't going to take it. But I do think that this is actually pretty okay in hindsight, but I'd rather just have been safe than sorry and not take a loss right now because I have to be extra defensive right now, and so I don't lose my accounts. But I do think this was decent. I mean, pretty good. So yeah, we sweep out the low and then inverse this. So what drawn liquidity was above? Let's see. Yeah, that's the main issue I have with this trade is it's nice AMD, but the drawn liquidity kind of isn't there. Like, this is the only drawn liquidity. It's not even like a significant high or low in my opinion, or I don't think it is at all actually. Yeah, I don't like that's why I didn't take the trade. And to me, since it doesn't make sense to me for drawn liquidity wise, that's why I didn't take it. But you could have taken this. Just the drawn liquidity didn't make sense to me, but you definitely could have. I'd go stop loss there. Yeah, and once again, like I just don't see the draw. The RR doesn't make sense to me. The drawn liquidity doesn't make sense. That's why I didn't take this. Maybe you could just target 1-to-1. I don't know. It's not like super obvious because if I target this high, well now the RR is only 0.8. And if I target this high, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I mean, it ended up working out, but I don't know. Like it's just a random high away from everything else. I personally wouldn't target it. And then if I target this accumulation range, it's like, well, now the RR is only 0.5. So if I was to take this, it'd probably have to be just 1-to-1. But I really, like, I don't know. That is exactly why I didn't take it. So let's go ahead and screenshot this. Oh, we could also mark this out as like accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. But the SMT with it is nice, I will admit. And I'm going to mark out that you put the stop loss right here. Stop loss. All right, there's trade number 2 logged for the backtesting session. Once again, I saw this live, and I almost took this, but I was, just being conservative because I didn't love it, and I have no regrets, honestly. I think it's okay that I didn't take it. Save. So what is this? 1039 IPG. 3 minute. Okay, I'm gonna go use the bathroom and I'll be right back. Alright. I'm back. Alright, let's figure out what more we want to backtest now. So, okay. Yeah, same with this, right? Because this inverses, but it's just not convincing to me that we're going to run liquidity. Now, this is a little more convincing, but even this, I was just scared because the draw on liquidity wasn't super obvious, if I'm being honest. But then imagine if you took the Jan entry. That would be pretty good. So I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna write this down again, but I'm gonna call this the Jan entry version. And then we have this high here. So like for instance, like let's say you have this inversion and you're like, I don't like the R, it's not that good. But then we get this retracement and you're like, okay, now it's a 3-1. Now I kind of like the RR and this is still valid, so I'm going to enter here. And this trade, this original trade is still valid, but now you get way better RR. And then boom, right to the TP. So that's kind of what the Jan entry is it's like you take the original trade, but you just you have a way better entry than everyone else. So that way you have better RR. So yeah, this was 1039 IFG, 1039 IFG-J, meaning Jan, and then 3 minute. Sick. Okay, let's keep going. Same thing with the 2 minute. 2 minute looks good. You could have taken this on the 2 minute if you wanted to and just said, okay, this gap's probably going to get broken. And it ended up getting broken. So, that this would have worked on the 2 minute as well. Once again, like this. Right here, this inversion. First of all, this doesn't inverse. Then this does. But RR-wise doesn't make sense. And it's just, I don't know. I would definitely have gone break even by here. So there's no reason this should have been a loss, probably, is what I would say. Now, I will say there might have been an opportunity in here, actually, on the 30-second. I'm curious. So, oh, that's actually pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice. And then, yeah, this is kind of nice. So we have SMT with YM here. So there's SMT with YM with this low here. So this SMT. And then we come up and so one, we swept out this low. And then we get this 30-second inversion, and we have a pretty nice consolidation and decent. I would probably take profit at the end of this LRLR here. So this right here, you see this trend line? So there we go. And then, yeah. And then we get this inversion. I like this. And then you can go, and then this is kind of like an inducement, right? Whoops. I can mark this out with like blue to show it's like inducement. And then we come up, inverse this. And curious if we had any other confluences. We do actually. Event horizon right there. That's nuts actually. People say this stuff isn't real. Bro. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Lies. It's a nice confluence. Whoops. Yeah, and then probably just take profit at the end of this LRLR here. So there we go. Boom. So you would go like this. Entry on this close above here. Probably put stop loss here. That'd be 2 to 1. And this is also during the Hydra macro, right? We'll just keep it like this. This is crazy though. This is pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie. So there we go. Let's go ahead and screenshot that. Oh, break even spot. We gotta go break even here. Okay, let's screenshot. $10.22 IFEG 30-second. Looking good. Okay, once again, this trade looks good. And you know what? Maybe you would just have to have it be a loss. And that's fine. But we did have data low. We had a giant consolidation. But it is unfortunate because it does look like this should have worked. And it's just, you know, on one hand, it was a loss. On the other hand, I mean, you could have been extra careful and not taken it. And, like, I don't know. Like, same reason I didn't take this, but I don't know. I think that one comes down to personal preference. I don't think it's bad, but I also, I don't know. Like, I don't like to take trades until it's, like, pretty clear. Like, for instance, here, it's a lot more clear that the market structure has shifted bullish, so now I'm a lot more open. Whereas this is more like still sell side of the curve versus buy side of the curve. This is, I don't know, it's just, maybe it's just because, I don't know, that's just how I see it. I prefer not to take inversions when you're you're kind of on the sell side of the curve still. I'm curious. Let's go ahead and see if we had any other, like any flow state trades or anything like that. So 1 hour key levels. You see any hourly fair value gaps? I don't really. I guess there was this. And then line time frame with that is 5 minute. Okay, there's nothing here really. 15 minute fair value gap. 1 minute. I mean, maybe this would work. So 15-minute fair value gap and discount. Okay, 15-minute fair value gap. And then we can measure this out from premium to discount. So we got, yeah, discount, premium, or discount, 15-minute fair value gap. And then sweep of external liquidity, so London here. And then we have London highs here. And then we get an internal sweep. I think this was previous hour's low. Let's check. Yep. Okay, previous hour's low swept here. And then not only do we inverse this, but we make the change state of delivery on the 1 minute. So that's your sign for flow state. Now once again, I don't think I would take this, but I'm just talking. Like I just like finding trades, right? Because it just helps to build your mental repertoire, you know. And then I'm curious if there was like SMT in here anywhere. There might have been. I don't know. Doesn't really matter that much. So maybe let's measure out standard deviations here. Yeah, we did end up going to the second standard deviation, which aligned with previous week's high. I mean, maybe let's measure this out like this. Yeah. So you could have taken this like with the body being the low. So I'm gonna mark this out like this. So sometimes with flow state I like doing the wicks, sometimes the body. It just kind of depends. And what I mean is like if I'm taking the flow state with the body at the using the body, I'm measuring the standard deviations from the body, then what I do is I measure the standard deviations out from the body. But if I'm measuring it out from the wick, then I put my stop loss at the wick. So I put the stop loss exactly where I put the standard deviations. So there we go. Yeah. Flow state retest. Boom, London highs. All right, let's go ahead and save this. So 842. Flow state, retest. 15-minute, 1 minute. Boom. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, once again, this inverses, but I don't know. It's just not convincing. I think yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't look convincing to me. Like this inverses, but I definitely go break even at least these highs and then you break even. But it's also doesn't look that convincing to me, if I'm being honest. So let's get rid of all that. Man, I loved this. Did I journal that? I don't think I have yet. And that happened yesterday, right? No, that happened today. Oh man, this was a really nice trade, honestly. Really nice. And with SMT too, dude. You don't get a better trade than this, guys. I genuinely think this is one of the best trades I've ever seen. Like, whoa. Whoa. And I wonder if it was in the macro. Hmm. $250. It would maybe if you consider this 250 to 310 a macro, then I guess. Man, I really like this. And the cool thing about this is this LRLR, whenever you see this, it is rocket fuel. Like 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 if you ever see it, a lot of time we're probably gonna expand a lot higher than the LRLRs. Than where we have the LRLR. So let's go ahead and yeah, Asia low swept. Dang, bro, this is nice. SMD with Asia low. Sweep. You guys see it? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Dude, and this is rocket fuel right here. This is rocket fuel. Oh my gosh. Like, anytime you see LRLR and it's just like, we get an inversion like this right before the LRLR, it's just rocket fuel. It's ridiculous. So then here's the inversion. And then, boom. I'd probably enter like that. Stop loss here. And then break even. I'd probably go break even. You go break even here. So there's break even. And then you can take profit at this LRLR. Boom. That's a 2.4 to 1. Let's go ahead and save that. Three o'clock. 3 o'clock. IFEG. 5 minute. Very cool. Let's go ahead and save that. That was today, right? Yeah. Okay, save that. Boom. Let's move on. I like this so much. It's a beautiful trade. I'm not against going, like, I might have to change my rules because, like, in situations like this, I think higher RR is definitely fair game. But I don't know, because I'm really trying not to go for high RR, but, like, this is one of those situations where it honestly seems somewhat reasonable. So I'm going to have to think about it, whether I should just want to have that rule where I only do up to 2R right now, or... Because right now my rule is I'm only doing up to 2R. But... So here we have this hourly rejection block. Now, if I measure this out, So 1 hour rejection block. Five-minute change of state delivery. So this could also be taken as a flow state. So for instance, Asia gets swept, SMT. So 1 hour rejection block. So this is the like CE. And then we have SMT here. And then this is the 5-minute change of state delivery. So this would be a flow state close, since we wouldn't enter on the retest. We'd enter on the close since it's close enough. So there we go. Boom. And yep, I'd put stop loss at the body. And then once again, check this out. Standard deviations. Fourth one lines up right there. So, and if you measure it like this, anyway, I'd measure it from the body, and then you got the fourth standard deviation right there, and then boom, right up to it. And on flow state closes, I do like to go break even, but then with the regular flow states, I usually don't. Honestly, I would just take profit at the third standard deviation, just because that's the one that's above the LRLR. I'm just being realistic on what I would actually do, so. So there we go. Stop loss at the end of here. SMT. Bottom right. And then there we go. All the way up to the third standard deviation and the fourth, but okay, boom. Let's re-screenshot this. Flow state close. 1 hour, 5 minute, 3 o'clock. Okay, boom. There we go. like, if it's obvious enough that we're going to go run liquidity, I will, like, definitely consider just taking a CISD, or I could close above a breaker without a higher time frame level, because I've seen that work a lot. So I might start adding that as one of my models, but yeah. 3 o'clock, full day close, 1 hour, 5 minute. Okay, boom, boom. So here's a 1 hour for value gap. Oh, we already looked at this from yesterday. Forgot about that. We did end up getting this 15-minute inversion. I probably would never take this, though. Oh, we had SMT with it. I don't know. It's just not... Like, I personally wouldn't take it. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't take this. But maybe if you liked it, you could. Let's just go ahead and mark it up, you know. But, like, I don't like taking trades like this. Do we even mark it up then? I don't know. It's just not my style. I don't like taking trades where you just expand up and then expand down. But it does work, so... I don't know. Do I record it or not? I can't decide. I'm going to say I'm not going to, just because if it's not obvious to me and I don't like it, then I'm not going to... Like, I wouldn't take that if it was for real, to be honest. Just being real. So... Once again, this was nice. I'm just really hesitant right now. This inversion failed. And, you know, same reason I didn't take this other one. I hate inversions on the wrong, when it feels like it's on the wrong side of the curve. I've lost so many trades because of that. When it feels like the inversions are on the wrong side of the curve, that I can't stand it. Same reason I wouldn't take this one. It's just because I just hate these inversions on the wrong side of the curve. Hello, can it reconnect my mouse, please? Okay. We can look at higher time frame stuff. Honestly, I was thinking this was going to happen today, actually. Because last night we had left this giant range, and I'm like, yeah, we're probably going to come back down. And it looks like we are so far, so... Interesting. We have SMT. Oh, this is getting interesting. We have SMT with YM here. And if I remember right, and we also swept out the high, obviously, which was, I believe this was previous week's high. Oh, yeah, it was. So this isn't just a regular SMT. Whenever you have an SMT with a previous week's high, that's a sequential SMT, right? So I don't like to call them that because it makes it overcomplicated. I just call it previous week's high SMT. But, dude, these types of SMTs go crazy. They go crazy. So SMT, so previous week's high SMT, previous week's high SMT. So I'm gonna make this orange. And then what happens, right? This is, what is this, like a daily fair value gap? Daily fair value gap right here. Daily fair value gap. I mean, you could use that one, but I like it when we fill it. Daily fair value gap. And then going back to the 1 hour. So previous week's high SMT, we ended up getting what? 1 hour change state delivery. So daily fair value gap. 1 hour change state delivery. So I'm honestly going to be bearish probably for a bit, because bearish CISD here. One hour CSD, and then was this a significant high? I don't know, man. Doesn't look like it. Okay, 1 hour change state delivery. So here's your internal sweep. Previous week's high SMT. Okay, previous week's high external sweep. One hour change state delivery. Let's go ahead and mark this out standard deviations wise. Yeah, and you ever feel like when you just see this, you're just like, yeah, we're in tune. We're in tune with the algo right now, you know? So let's go ahead and mark this out for standard deviation. I trade inverse for value gaps, but right now I'm marking out higher time frame stuff. I'm just looking at the higher time frame and plotting out like a possible model, right? So basically, when you have a daily key level, you align that with an hourly change state delivery. And so, yeah, 1 hour change state delivery. And then if I measure this out, here are all of our standard deviations. But I trade inverse for value gaps. I keep it simple, but I do like to speculate sometimes because it is fun. But for the most part, I just stick to pretty simple inverse for value gaps because, you know, I just need to be profitable. But, dude, this stuff is like really cool though. Like, it's crazy how deep the rabbit hole goes. Daily for value gap. Honestly, this is more of the internal sweep. And what was this anyway? Previous day's high. Oh, that's nice. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this and put it in my little private, just my little private thing I have. Okay, so looks like the most liquidity is at the second standard deviation, so we'll probably go here, but I don't know if we'll go past that. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go put this in my private server. Daily 1 hour. Okay. Okay. Let's get rid of everything. Oh, we were gonna look and see if there was a RTH gap. Oh yeah, there is. Oh my. Dude, it just gets better. It just gets better. That's kind of cool. Okay. And we have this giant one down here too. So let's go ahead and put this in there as well. There's a possibility. Okay, let's delete everything. This will measure this out. So anyway, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I don't know how much I'll backtest more. Just a little bit more probably, but I'll be right back. Alright, good chance I do more backtesting off of stream, but for now, I'm going to end things here. Yeah, I'm going to end things. So, I will see you guys in the market recap later, and then I'm also going to make the short form video. I already made it, but I need to edit it. So, with that, I'll see you guys later. Bye.